Hi, and welcome to the Market Alert for Friday, the 4th of December 2020. So the dollar dump yesterday sparked a bid for bonds and bullion, sending them to the upside. However, the Pfizer faux pas seemed to F stocks towards the close. And as it states here, stocks plunge after Pfizer cuts vaccine rollout target by half due to supply chain obstacles. So this is what is meant by this. You can see late on 8:30 p.m. last night, the Dow drops over 200 points as it announced that Pfizer can only fulfill half of the supply chain, sending the market careering off a cliff and moving lower. There's some other warning signs around at the moment as well. Stock valuations surpassed 1929 levels, accounted for inflation, and as it says here, stocks are overbought and frothy, warns Wall Street's most accurate analyst. However, the potential deals still move the markets to the upside to record highs, even despite the Pfizer hiccup. We've got S&P record hits record. Dow soars over 30,000 after McConnell says we can do this. So his deal with Pelosi is still moving along, but it's down to 600 billion as opposed to 3 trillion, I think. But here you go. You've got the stocks might be frothy, but the implied volatility is down in the lows, dropping yesterday from Wednesday's 20.71 to Thursday's 20.19, and we're back to green in the coloured version of this as well. So the market's still free to move to the upside despite being quiet. And whilst we're here, let's cover the news. We've got this for today. We've got the non-farm payrolls. That's the biggest one. This is out at 1:30. And you can see there the forecast is a major reduction in the unemployment figures, or job creation figures, I should say, and should send the market to the upside. And we'll see what happens. In fact, this is the actual change. I think this is actually the creation of new jobs. I've just got to get my head around because the other one's initial claims. Yeah, so this is, they're looking to create 480,000. In fact, there's a sleight of hand going on here. The penny's just dropped. Last time they created 638,000 jobs, and they're saying 480,000, so that if it comes out at anything like 600, this will allow the market to move sharply to the upside. If we have a look here, and we should see a graph of these figures, and there you go. So they're looking to actually increase from the forecast this time, so that they can show that the economy is recovering, which of course it's not. So there we go. Let's move on and have a look at yesterday's session. Very quiet session at the moment because the market is sitting at the all-time highs for all markets apart from the German DAX. But I'm just going to fast forward through all of this because there's not a lot to report because of the hours of trading, because the volatility is low. We kicked off with the market opening and moving higher up to the DP level, and then finding resistance there. You can see prices coming off the high. Get out of the trade because you never know what's going to happen in the first 20 minutes. Well, on this occasion, it was a good move because the selling came into the market. Prices moved straight through the 20 bar and the 200 moving average, and then headed down towards the low. We ended up with a potential sell signal, but this bar here, you can see prices closing off the low with an increase of volume, which means there must have been some buying in this lower part of the bar. I was hoping it was going to go down to the low, to be honest, but it didn't. And there we see the market just trading back up to the 200 MA on very high volume. So they were still selling around at this point. The market then saw some buying come back into the market, short covering, taking profits, or new buying, trying to get the market to move back to the upside. There's a battle going on in the sideways move. Again, the 200 MA and the close of the previous day giving this market some grief before prices then settled a bit and moved back to the downside, and the volume starts to drop off. Have a look at the weekly chart there just to see where we were in the bigger picture, just to see if we were anywhere near those highs. And then the market moving back. I've drawn a few fibs on here as well. I was trying to measure what the market was doing to see if I could find a way of adding in some new signals when the market's in a sideways move. We then do get a signal here, but the market again trading back towards the upside, and then cancelling the signal. Just very, very quiet for this market. More weakness at the BRN, which you can see there with all of the red inside of the green. Market coming back below the 200 MA. And then I'm just going to fast forward here because the market was so quiet. The range of these bars aren't even, 4 or 5 points. And then back up to the close, it was just stuck in a sideways range. And eventually we got the shakeout through the low. And as soon as you get a shakeout through the low, again, you can see them buying back immediately. And then prices have another shakeout down to the S1. So, well, let's just for good measure, let's see how many we can shake out. So again, you'll see the selling coming in here at the 5-bar moving average, increases, and then you've got a similar volume for the reversal here. So having shaken out, a bit like the Dow last night with the Pfizer news, the market then trades sideways. And I'm having a look in the daily chart here just to see where we are in the retracements that I drew in yesterday, down to the 50% retracement. And then prices double bottom. We've got from here to here, and you can see them testing again. So you've got a shakeout followed by a retracement and testing, which is shown with the green bar, and then another bar that comes back and tests, and then the market starts to trade sideways to higher for the rest of the morning. And let me just wind this back a bit. I've just jumped ahead too far there. So yeah, it then started to move back up towards the low. So let's have a look where we are. You can see that there's the S1. This is after the initial jobless claims, which were better than forecast. The market was buoyed by this, but traded up to the 200 MA and then trod water until the market opened, which you'll see moving to the upside, hitting the low. Got the selling there straight at the low. You can see that there. I got resistance. They didn't want to get through the low, so they brought the market down. We then had a potential sell signal at the S1, and then of course we start to see the volume build here. And we got some more there, and I thought we're likely to head up and have a 20-point loss on this. But the market stopped at the 200 MA. There was no great selling here, but there was still resistance, and the market then managed to drift down as it waited for the news, which we'll see in just a moment. So as it headed back down, it decided to get out because of the news, just in case it was good news, and that was a couple of points loss. Again, you can see them buying back in just before the news announcement there. And here we've got the news. It was the PMI. 55.9 was the forecast, and this came out exactly as was forecast there. You'll see if I just move forward a bit, let's speed things up, and there you can see it came out exactly the same. So this didn't help matters with the markets being quiet. We had the spike up, and then you can see that buying, but once it got to the 200 MA, again it was hit by selling coming into the market. You can see it's already greater, and then the market back. There's your selling confirmed. The market stopping at the S1 for a moment, then dipping through it, and then it just became sideways. And I'm going to fast forward through all of this as well, because you can see that the bars just became smaller as it tried to move to the upside, then hit by selling, but in a very, very narrow range for yesterday afternoon. So again, let's just move all the way through, and you can see prices coming back towards the low. So let's switch over to the daily chart of the DAX, and you can see yesterday the market managed to come down to the 62% retracement. So I'm just going to get rid of the 38 and the 50 there. So the 62, you can see, is down by the 20-bar moving average as well. The market's sitting on this at the moment. If prices are to move back to the upside, then we take the high here, yesterday's low, and we draw from here down to here. And these are the potential upside targets for the Dow should it move back to the upside. So let me just save these, take a note of these, or draw them on the chart as well. As you will find resistance, notice that the 5-bar moving average is also at the 38% retracement as well. In the 2-minute chart, let's just compress everything, see where we are, see what the overnight market's been doing, and immediately we can see, we just get rid of all of this just to give it a bit more room. We can see that the market has hit the 200 MA twice and come off this, but found support at the BRN. It held the market from the upside all the way through most of the night, and then managed to break there, and now it's become support, and the market, you can see, has moved higher off yesterday's close and the 200 MA, moved up to the DP and just beyond to the BRN, where you can see it's been hit with some selling, and the market now is heading back towards the DP level there. So from this low to the left to here, you will see the market coming back 50% of this move and finding support, closing back above the averages and moving towards the DP there. So let me just reset everything now so we can see this in a bit more detail. And let's just drag the volume window down so we can see where we are as far as the market is moving in the pre-futures overnight electronic. The futures open at 7 a.m. At the moment it's 8 minutes to 7. Okay, that will do it for this one. Rather a long one, but a lot of information in there. We're still stuck with this very narrow range. Got a bit of weakness there, and the same in the Dow daily. If we just have a quick look at this before concluding, again you can still see we're stuck in this sideways move. We need to break out of this either to the upside or to the downside, one way or the other. But the implied volatility is certainly pointing towards a correction, and also the other news items that we saw earlier as well, making mention of this. Okay, that's it for this one. Have a great weekend. As ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.